Yo. Yo. What's going on, man? It's your boy, D.Wise, and I'm back with another episode of OTV Live. Shit, a lot of shit has happened since last Monday.
What's been going on, man?
Shout out to my boy, Standby Gypsy in the building.
What's going on,
the
everyone?
Facilitator.
How's everyone
the
doing
originator.
None greater.
Pretty much.
Well, it rhymes. I don't know.
I got you. Yeah, man. This weekend was kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? I hung out with some artistic people.
Okay, where were you at?
No. It was just a get together, writers, producers. We ended up playing spades until like 6 o'clock this morning.
Some of the best ideas come out over a game of spades.
Oh no, some attitudes come out over a game of spades.
Anyone get a shank to the rib?
What? You gonna renege?
Right.
You gonna renege on me? Nah, man. It was cool. It was cool. A couple people passed away. Actually, damn, man. It kind of hit me hard with Chester Bennington that passed, and I'm like, it's funny to see a band that came out in I think their first album came out in 2000, if I'm not mistaken, Hybrid Theory. And I actually got to see their progression. As you don't get to see progression as an artist, like the last time somebody hit me hard was Michael Jackson. I cried like a baby. Right. But with Chester, it hit me hard because I remember watching 120 Minutes. For the young cats out here that don't know what that is, that was a show on MTV that came on around like 1 a.m. and they played.
I saw that one.
No, 120 Minutes. I remember Adam Curry. That's when I started watching.
Curry,
yeah. He was the one that hosted the show. By the time 2000 came around, I think Matt Pinfield was the one that was hosting the show.
Right.
120 Minutes was, videos that were not played in the mainstream because they were either heavy metal or hard rock. Okay. So, it wasn't Van Halen.
Right.
It was like bands like.
Is it like Marilyn Manson was on there?
Yeah, Marilyn Manson started out on 120 Minutes.
Okay.
Like the first Linkin Park song wasn't even Crawling, or I think it was.
Was it Numb?
No, before that. Numb was on the second album, I think.
Oh, wow.
The first album, I forgot what the first single was, but I remember Matt Pinfield going, there's a new band out here, and they're called Linkin Park. And I just remember the rapper from Linkin Park, he was upside down, like rapping. And then Chester came out with this
One step closer. One step closer.
That was the record.
I remember.
So I remember them saying it's their debut single, This Is Linkin Park. Yeah. And I remember hearing it for the first time. I was like, huh, that's different.
Yeah.
It was like they got a rapper in a heavy metal band.
What I remember about them was that they were just equally good at both parts.
Right. I didn't look at the rapper and go, he's whack.
Yeah,
and the singer's good.
He like the rap. I don't know the guy's name, but his raps were they were in that like nice groove where they were simple.
Mike Shinoda,
thank you. They were simple and almost like a Tupac vibe in the sense of like the rhyme patterns and it wasn't difficult, but he made a point and it sounded really really good. And Chester, obviously, his voice. was
Chester was
out of this world.
Chester had one of the best rock voices. Mm-hmm. You don't really appreciate like his caliber of voice, and I know I'm probably gonna get some heat over it, but you haven't seen a voice like that since like Queen.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I mean, when it comes down to it, that set the bar for me as someone that can actually sing. Freddie Mercury's voice was like.
Or even Robert Plant. I'd go as far as Robert Plant.
Right.
Like to me, he's a Robert Plant of 90s
but
rock.
Robert Plant set precedent, and then Freddie Mercury took it into the stratosphere. I mean, for God's sakes, Queen could like do anything, operatic songs. Yeah, like they played everything. You know what I mean? But Chester just came out, and then you see the evolution of the band after that. They got really into it wasn't metal, but they got into pretty much hard rock stuff. Right. I think Chester wanted to change the dynamic of what was going on. From what I understand, because
that was the same time Fred Durst came out.
Right. But when it came down to it, I felt that what was Fred Durst's band?
Did All for the Nookie. What the hell's her name?
Limp Bizkit.
Thank you.
Limp Bizkit. Yeah, but I felt that Limp Bizkit was more. Their sound was more like a Rage Against the Machine bite off to me.
To me, they were just more. They were wannabe rappers that obviously could play rock.
Yeah.
Like the thing about Linkin Park was there was no wannabe in them. Mike Shinoda was a real rapper. Like to me he was like an Eminem type before Eminem in a sense. He was the white dude that grew up loving real hip hop.
Yeah. But the whole thing was that Chester came into the band later on. Like it was just because the album is called Hybrid Theory. That was the name of the band before it was Linkin Park.
Okay.
So it was always rap mixed with rock.
Right.
So that's why they called it Hybrid Theory. But then when Chester came in, that like the dynamic was just like boom. Okay, we got a great singer, vocalist, rapper. We're gonna put it together.
But I feel like Fred Durst will never be on anyone's top anything of rap. Mike Shinoda would at least be in the top 100.
What you mean top 100 when it comes to
MCs? I'm just saying, like I consider Shinoda a real rapper. I don't consider Fred Durst a real rapper.
Okay. I mean that's it. I mean top 100. I wouldn't say that, but
all right, 150. you get my point.
No, I got you. But rest in peace to Chester. You know, I grew up listening to Linkin Park, and I was there from their first single being played on like MTV.
Yeah.
To listening to that new album, and I was just like, damn, that was whack. And I even said that, a couple of episodes ago. I was like, did you hear the new Linkin Park album? I was like, it's doo-doo. Like, yeah. And I'm just like, and now I'm going back and listening to the songs, and I'm like, damn, this guy was really crying out for help.
Right.
Yeah, so it's, double-edged sword. But, before we do the top 10, we're going to introduce our host. Let me give you some background on this gentleman. He was actually supposed to be the co-host of this show.
Oh, what happened?
Well, motherfucker got to work.
Oh, yeah, life happens, man. You got busy.
Yeah, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, he's a singer, songwriter, entrepreneur.
Every gal boyfriend.
Every gal boyfriend. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Nicholas Oshane is in the building, all right?
Hey, y'all, what's up, man? B, Gypsy.
What's going on, man?
What's going on? What's up? New York City, worldwide. How you doing, man?
Yeah, we're in Portchester, bro. Calm yourself.
Well, I mean, we're part of the state. We're still in the same.
We're broadcasting all over the world.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
Shout out to everybody that's watching.
I like your attitude.
Oh man, get the fuck out of here.
You got to think local.
You got to think local.
I was watching. Remember In the Air with Clooney?
Oh man,
there's a scene.
I really like that movie.
It was a good movie.
What's
the chick's name in the movie? Whatever her name is. I don't know her name.
Oh shit!
The little short brown-haired girl.
In the air. Was it Up in the Air or something?
In the Air. It was called In the Air.
No, I don't think it was
like Up in the Air.
I think it was Up in the Air.
Something like that.
Anyway, chick did a presentation and it was called Global and Local.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You're right.
Well, either way, glad to be here. Happy to be on the show. As D mentioned, it's funny. I was supposed to be a co-host on this show.
Yeah. But you was primed and ready, and the next thing you know, life happens.
Yo, life happens, and life has been very, very hectic in the last year or two. Just trying to put the finishing touches on my project, as well as I went back to school, but that's a whole nother monster. I should have finished that shit when I was 17, 18, but hey, yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean it happens. So we're gonna get to our sponsor. Yeah, Up in the Air. Like I said,
yeah, it is Up in the Air. All right. Sorry. What the hell is her name? Anyway, all right. What do you want to get to?
We got to talk about our sponsor.
Let's talk about our sponsor.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you need a place to concentrate, if you need a place to go and write a script, if you need a place to just sit down and study.
Just sit down and cry?
Sit down and cry. They have a good crying spot. They got great coffee.
Good cry.
Make sure you go to Koi Creative Space in White Plains, New York. There's a multi-purpose study area, boardroom. They pretty much have everything.
I've actually been up to Koi before, and
Koi's nice.
It's amazing up there. They got like this conference room, like this like glass conference room there. It's looking real official. So yeah.
Yep. So make sure you go to Koi Creative Space. They're located on Mamaroneck Avenue. And go check them out. If you want to get something to eat, there's nothing but bars and restaurants all up and down Mamaroneck Avenue.
And we know all about Mamaroneck. We've been towing that block up.
No, so 169 Mamaroneck Avenue, second floor, White Plains, New York. Call them 914-428-3195. That's Koi Creative Space, KOI, creativespace.com. Mention OTV Live and get 10% off your membership. Yep, you know what it is. All right, so we are going to get into the top 10 independent albums in the country.
Let's do it.
You know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. Time for the top 10 independent albums. And I know that Gypsy is going to be upset. Top 10.
I'm upset every week, but what else is new?
All right, top 10 independent albums in the country this week. Oh, boy. Number 10, you know what? I got to give an honorable mention to number 11. They were 11 last week, and they're 11 this week. And the band called the Lumineers. Does anybody know the Lumineers? Yeah. They had they got a number 11 album in the country. Okay. I sing their songs. You know, if you don't know who the Lumineers are,
they got that like turn of the century.
Yeah.
Kind of.
They're actually from New York, which is crazy.
Okay. Look like they're from Kansas or some shit.
Yeah, they look. Yeah.
It's funny these days because you can't really tell where like any of these artists are really from.
No.
I mean, that's a good thing. I mean, I don't like the, back in the day, you see a rapper, you see a singer, you'd be like, oh, they're from the East Coast, oh, they're from the West Coast.
Just off their sound.
Like, yeah, you see the Lumineers and they got drums on the floor and it's like,
I think it's great. It's great. Like just to be able to transcend, just where you're from in that area and be able to go out and conquer a whole different market and be able to, appeal to people who otherwise wouldn't even be on your radar, or be on the average person's radar. I think it's dope.
Yeah, man. I like the way the internet has really broken down walls.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that, us as independent artists are not getting paid because everything is just for free. But anyway, we're not going to get into that tonight. Number 10 is Grant Malloy Smith, and the album is called Dust Bowl, American Stories.
Is the Lumineers on their album? Are they featured on
Nah.
This they would be on this album.
Listen, this guy is 59 years old, and he's from Jacksonville.
Okay.
He's from Jacksonville, Florida, and it's a country album. And the man he makes video feature-length films. And he's been doing this since 1997.
Wow.
He scores indie films. That's what he does. And he's also an artist to boot. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 full-length movies, about 6 short films. And he's been an actor. He's been on Mythbusters.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's done pop rock. He does country. He does Americana. He does bluegrass. The man does everything.
Okay.
So make sure you go check him out. The album, I mean, if you're into country music, if you're into bluegrass, by all means. You know what I'm saying? Check him out. Number 9 is TLC. Last week, their album was number 1 in the country. Now they dropped down to number 9, but they're still in the top 10. And I give them props. Like I said, I listened to the album. I mean, I like the fact that they are trying to get a new sound or whatever.
Absolutely.
And this is the GoFundMe album, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the album that they did. Was it GoFundMe or was it Kickstarter?
Kickstarter. I believe it was Kickstarter. Kickstarter. Okay.
So they took the money. I think they raised about $300,000.
Yeah. I believe it was between the numbers like 300,000, 450.
Yeah. So they took the album and they took the money and actually put out the album. Yeah, man.
I've seen some of the visuals from this album, and I gotta say, I give it to him for being able to keep going this long, even without Left Eye. They still try to keep her memory alive on some of the stuff.
Yeah, well, if you ever checked out any of their concert footage, they are incorporating her into
the shows, right?
Into the shows with big screens and not holograms, but you know, they do the dance. They take segments from the music videos.
Kickstarter budget.
Shit, that's a lot. Yo, they only had Tupac on stage for about 3 minutes.
3 minutes, right?
What was that? A couple million?
Yeah. That was like a couple million. Yeah. So the I think Michael Jackson one was the biggest one.
Yeah.
When they did "Slave to the Rhythm" on American Music Awards.
Okay.
Like, cause that was like a 4-minute like stage, like they had pyrotechnics and backup dancers and everything. Now I did get to see the hologram in. Shout out to Blue. Shout out to Blue Rivera. We went out to Vegas, and I got to see the Cirque du Soleil Michael Jackson 1 show.
Oh, wow.
And they had the hologram. But it wasn't like the American Music Awards.
Yeah, you can see through that motherfucker.
Like Michael came out and was just like, "Hi everybody, how are you? Gonna dance a little bit.
I can't wait till they make
out of here."
I can't wait till they make Prince's hologram, because that's just gonna be.
You know what? I'm really disappointed in the family, what the family's done since Prince's passing. Like, even Jay-Z mentioned it on the 444 album. He's just like, y'all motherfuckers just let everybody run up in this man's house
so y'all
after
gonna
he
sell the
died.
casket too.
He went in on him. He was just like, y'all just gonna let him just walk through everywhere, huh?
They
was charging admission to get him getting into his house.
It's unfortunate, and I think, you know, Prince was one of those artists that was so protective of his legacy and protective.
Of course, he was.
You know, so it's like it's sad when you see them passing, and now everybody wants a piece. But we went through this when Michael died.
They didn't open up Neverland.
What? They was doing tours all through Neverland Ranch. What do you mean?
Really?
Michael's funeral is still the best concert I've ever seen.
But hold on. But the whole thing was, Michael wasn't living at Neverland no more. That shit, he was out of there.
He had his own films about.
Yeah, but I mean, after you fucking get accused of like touching baby balls, like fuck, what are you supposed to do about that?
Like the baby balls.
Like, what the fuck are you supposed to do about that?
Remember the Jesus juice?
Oh man!
But I love Michael. Listen, Michael's the man. Like right now, let R. Kelly's got to go through. But that's the story for a whole nother
we're gonna touch on that. We'll get to that right after the top 10. All right, number 8.
Usher?
Oh man!
I think that you should let it burn.
Ooh.
I got more to say on that topic, but I'm gonna wait till we get there.
Number 8 is Anti-Cult, and the album is called Decapitated.
Jesus. I'm just looking at this album cover artwork.
Yeah, man. Anti-Cult, Decapitated, ladies and gentlemen. So, as you can already see, this is a hardcore metal band. But you know what? The first single is fucking dope.
Yeah?
It's dope. Okay. I really like it. Number 7. Vans Warped Tour 2017, ladies and gentlemen. To be perfectly honest with you, I haven't really heard from the Warped Tour in since like the 90s.
I was gonna say early 2000, late 90s?
Right.
Yeah.
When Blink-182, Fall Out Boy,
I was gonna say Sum 41.
Sum 41, all them, like, Warped Tour was big back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah. But they're still going strong. Yeah. Vans is still sponsoring the Warped Tour. I checked the website, and my God, if you go to vanswarpedtour.com, the list of artists that they have is massive.
Phenomenal. It's crazy, right?
I'm talking about at least over 40, 50 bands.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, it's Bowling for Soup. You probably know them. Bowling for Soup, 1985. What is it? CKY. I think it's they just released a new. I think they just released a new remix to Thong Song. That's going up in the charts.
I heard about that.
Futuristic. New Year's Day is out there. Goldfinger. Memphis May Fire. Like, literally all the bands that are still waving the flag of hard rock, punk, pop, like, they're out there. Like, good. I can't even read off. They actually have different tiers of artists for this Warped Tour. Yeah. It looks like it's one of the biggest Warped Tours they ever had.
Do you have the line as far as where they're gonna, like, are they gonna be close?
Yeah, they have Full Sail University, which is one section. Okay. They have Skull Candy, which is another section. They got Mutant South, Mutant North, Journey's Right Foot. Like, these are all different segments of one Warped Tour.
Wow.
Yeah. And skate culture, as of late, skate culture is kind of like back and booming. You know, even Vans, I've seen Vans' new campaign. Like, they have like a lot of dope stuff out, like a lot of different events.
I'm wearing Vans right now. These shits are fresh.
There you go.
Yeah,
and that too, like with a lot of like I think with the urban audience also coming into play with the whole skate culture. I think that's kind of put it out there even more. Like, people feel like it's okay to, like, you know, be a skater dude.
When we grew up, but there weren't no black kids skating.
No, there was. Yeah. Trust me.
No, there was. I mean,
bruh. Well, listen, I'm a little bit older than you guys.
Yeah, I didn't grow up in this country, so I don't know what skate.
We'll get to that later.
I don't think you are older than me.
Yeah.
I don't think you are.
Well, I graduated high school in '98.
So did I.
Oh, okay. Well, we same age. Yeah. But the thing was that all the people that I knew, they were skating. They were black. They were black skaters in my school.
But you went to school. Where did you go to school?
Saunders, Yonkers.
Okay, but I'm talking about like in like Harlem,
like,
the Bronx.
Like the Bronx and like Willis Ave, like
Westchester kids,
Westchester kids, okay,
but
I mean, in the Bronx, they had skate parks back in the '90s and 2000. There was black kids out there. I mean, they were few and far between, but
there's more now. That's
there's
my
more
okay.
Now.
No, you're right.
More now.
All right, number six. Rhonda Vincent and Daryl Signatary, and the album is called American Grandstand. These two have been in the business for a long time. Let me pull up the stats for this album. I got to listen to them together, and I mean, what can I say? The album is straight country, but steamed in the vein of like a Dolly Parton.
Okay.
Like real straightforward.
Now, are they married?
Country. I'm not sure. I didn't go that deep into it.
Okay.
Neither of them have a like Wikipedia page or anything like that.
Okay.
But Rhonda and Vincent, they've been doing this for a long time. We're talking, if you go to their website, which is RhondaVincent.com, says, not since George and Tammy, Conway and Loretta has there been a vocal duet performance like Rhonda Vincent and Daryl Singletary. So if you love like old school duets.
And Walk Hard.
Right. Oh, Jesus, man. No, it's not like Walk Hard.
Walk Hard.
Yo, you crazy, B. You are nuts. He said, yo. Yeah, man. So make sure you check them out. Let me see what we got going on here. Oh, we got some people in the chat. Shout out to Tyree and Corey. What's going on? How you feeling tonight? Number 5. Okay. This is Toro y Moi.
I love them.
So you know.
I do.
Yo, this album is dope.
Yeah. I've been listening to him for a few years now.
Yo, so he's got the number 5.
It's one 6? Person or two?
No, I think it's just one person.
Is it one person? Okay, I thought.
Well,
it was two.
I think
it says E Moy. So that's
yeah,
Moy.
but no, not Moy. It's Moi. He took Spanish.
Oh.
So he's saying the bull is in me. So two multilingual expressions. Spanish word for bull, and then moi for me to me. So it's the bull in me or the bull and me. But
I gotcha.
The album, I didn't know about the chill wave movement.
What?
I never knew.
Washed Out. You know Washed
Yeah.
Out? They like did this the intro for what was that, Portlandia?
Got you. Okay. All right.
That
like
song?
indie scenes.
Yeah, dude, I've been listening to that shit for at least a good 5 years, man.
Really?
It's some good shit. Good stuff.
So they have said, well, the young man's name is Chaswick Bradley Bundick. That's the name. That's his real name. But the album,
Toro.
Yeah. We'll just call him Toro from now.
Toro for sure.
Bundick. Toro's album, I couldn't really place. I don't like putting people in boxes.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to describe his music. It's just good.
Yeah.
It's great, actually. Okay. So, I mean, the album's called Boo Boo. And
okay, cool.
Yo, I was listening to it on Tidal, and I couldn't turn it off.
I'm about to save it right now on Tidal.
Yeah, man, say that joint. Number 4.
Number 4.
Last week was number 3. This week, just down one spot. Jason Isbell on the 400 unit, and the album is called The Nashville Sound. And we've been talking about this album for the last 3 weeks, so we're just going to keep on going. Number 3, last week, wasn't on the charts. They're back up. It's Broken Social Scene, and the album is called Hug of Thunder. Okay. They're Canadian. They're a musical collective. They are...
Canada, eh?
They... Canada, eh? Yo, these guys are like the music. They're like the indie. They're like the indie rock Wu-Tang.
Yeah. That's dope. Listen.
No, my dude.
I love it.
They're the indie rock Wu-Tang. They got like over like 20 members.
Damn.
So it's like they go out on stage, like the main core of the people is like probably like 6 or 7 guys, and then they get all these musicians if they're off. Like if they're off on another tour or they're just chilling, they just bring them up on stage and they jam.
I like it. Unity.
This shit is crazy, man. But it's only the 2 founding members are 2 guys. It's Kevin Drew and Brendan Koenig, and most of his members play in different groups in Toronto. So these are the bands that everybody's from: Metric, Feast, Stars, Apostle of Hustle, Do Make Say Think, Casey Accidental, Emily Haynes and the Soft Skeleton, Amy Milan and Jason Collette. So all these bands, they have a collective, and they just call it Broken Social Scene. From Canada.
I've heard a few of those names before. So.
Right. Well, I've called Apostle Hustle, Feast. I've heard of Metric. You know.
Yeah, definitely heard of Metric.
Right.
So good luck to them. I hope they continue.
Yeah, man. Number 2 album in the country is Nickelback.
Unreal.
Feed the Machine.
Unreal. God bless them.
Yeah, man. Last week they were number 2.
Nickelback.
Look
at this photograph.
You know what the word? Yo, you know what everybody makes fun of, and I thought it was a good song. Chad Kroeger did one of the songs from the Spider-Man soundtrack. It's called Hero. Don't say that hero to save us. Could you take the runway?
Of course.
Wait. I think it was the lead singer of. No, was it Stained? No, it was somebody. It was from
I love the lead singer of Stained. I think it was Stained as a band.
I think it was Stained. I'm not sure. Anyway, number 1 album in the country. Last week, number 6. Now it's back at number 1. Metallica, Hardwired to Self-Destruct.
I wish they would self-destruct. I just wish they would. I don't know. I have this whole thing, and it goes back to when we first started the show.
Yeah.
Was that, this is the independent, top 10 independent albums in the country, and, Metallica falls on the list of being independent because they're no longer signed to a major. But they've also have 20, 30 years of being a major
Metallica.
Of being a major
signed.
label. So it's kind of like
Warner Brothers for
it kind of doesn't give other bands a chance. But
but you also have to give them their credit for lasting this long, and to be able to still walk out of that major label situation and have the star power as still Metallica to this day.
My thing, I agree with you. But my question is, how much is it them having the money and budget, even in their personal net worths, to market their new independent album, and it's just money making their independent album more popular than it is?
Gotcha.
I don't know. I haven't done my homework. I'm being a hater, clearly, but good for them. Good for them. Get off the damn list.
Man. Hey, that is the top 10 independent albums in the country. Thank you very much for tuning in for that. All right, so we're going to talk to our guest tonight.
Hey,
like I said, singer-songwriter, entrepreneur. Nicholas Oshane is in the building.
Hey, what's up?
What up? One of my best friends. Writing partner. Shit, we do everything.
A lot of great records together. So
yeah, man, we got some records that'll be coming out. Shit. So let's start from the beginning. We know that you are not from the U.S. of A.
I am not from here.
Okay.
Which is confusing for a lot of people, because in my day-to-day, like, I'll just be at work and I'm talking to my coworkers like, yeah, you know what I mean? This kid get my nerves and all that. And I'll pick up the phone and I'll be like, yeah, hello? No, I'm not reach him until about 6. Yo, tell the dog then for pull up that. And I get off the phone, they're like,
Oh.
So where you? I'm like, yeah, I'm Jamaican.
Yeah. So
it's a thing.
what city were you born in Jamaica?
I was born in the parish of St. Thomas, and that's like real far east, close by like Kingston and Portland. And moved to the States when I was 10.
So tell me about the culture shock when you're moving from. Yeah, we're gonna touch on that. The culture shock from being a young strapping lad from Jamaica moving to New York City in the 90s.
Well, it wasn't exactly the 90s. Like,
okay. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you because I moved to America like in like a weird time. I moved to America in July of 2001. So let's just talk. So let's just talk about that first day.
Wow.
Damn. So you was here before the towers got hit. Like
September
literally.
11th was my first day of school in America.
Oh. Wow.
And I had no idea what was going on. It was crazy. Like I just came like, you know, I've been here for the summer and everything was different. I remember the first night I came here, everything was shiny as hell. It was like the lights everywhere, and then after 2 weeks, you kind of, you know.
Yeah,
But that was my first day of school, and I just remember just being there, not really knowing what's going on. There's like, the Twin Towers, and that was my first time like encountering like different people like from different like nations. Of course, Jamaica, you know, we're an island of, you know, all different kinds of people. But that was the first time I met like Africans and like Filipinos. And I remember my teacher, she was African, and she came and she's like, the Twin Towers. The Twin Towers have been hit. And I'm just so confused. I'm like,
you're like, what?
I'm like, okay, Miss Ogunwabi, I feel it. And it was a while. It took a few years before like the effect of that like really dawned on me, and I really
of course, because you know you wasn't steeped into the bullshit that we Americans
indoctrination of being American.
I'm proud to be an American.
Yes, sir.
Like, yo, when the twin, it's so crazy because your first day of school here in America was September 11th. I had college. I had a class that was scheduled at 10 o'clock, and I overslept.
Wow.
And my father, I remember my father racing home and comes in the door and was like, where is he?
Yeah.
Like, is he here? And my mom was like, yeah, he overslept. Like, I would have been stuck underground on the A train because I had to go to J Street Borough Hall. You know what's crazy?
Wait, what school you went to?
Oh, Shane, get the hell out of here.
I feel, I know.
Don't try to set it up. Me and Oshane actually went to the same college.
I like you said that.
We did.
What school you went to?
we went to the same college.
We went to the same college.
The funny thing is, like maybe like 10 years apart.
Yeah.
But we still like have the one thing in common. What was the best thing about the entire school?
It was the fucking mayonnaise.
The fucking mayonnaise.
The mayonnaise?
The mayonnaise in the cafeteria was like.
Yo, my dude, I don't know where they ordered this mayonnaise from, but it was immaculate.
That's the only thing I remember about that experience.
Can I say, wait, just real quick. This is the first time I've ever been in a room with three black people, and all three of us like mayonnaise.
True. But
weird,
see, I don't like mayonnaise on everything. But let me tell you something. Yeah. This mayonnaise was heavenly.
Shout out to City Tech.
Shout out to New York City
sugar
Tech.
in it? What the fuck?
Yo, my dude. You know how they say you're going to gain the freshman 15?
Yeah.
I gained the freshman 25 because I was dipping my fries in this mayonnaise. They was like, you want ketchup? No, bitch, more mayonnaise. Like, I was the biggest
it like
fan
gourmet, man? Chipotle?
I don't know.
It was probably like the most bottom of the barrel.
Man, like, it's probably came from like Bucharest or some shit.
Right.
Like, I don't know where it came from, but that shit was good.
Can we go there on our day off?
Yo, my dude.
I'm pretty sure we can stop by.
I want to know what this is about. Because I love
pretty sure we can just walk up in there.
Yo. So getting back to it, man.
Yeah.
So the culture shock was a little bit.
Yeah.
You had to assimilate into this culture.
Mm-hmm. And I remember
I
had to like learn the accent, which was crazy because I remember like the first few years there was just certain letters I just didn't really get the difference. I didn't get the difference between T's and D's. I just didn't understand it. I remember I had this one friend, his name was Autumn, and he get tight at me every day because I'm like, yo, Autumn. He's like, it's Autumn. So I'm like, yeah, that's what I said, Autumn. And he's like, I'm like, but the kids were mean at first, just like coming, and especially in that time, like it was a sensitive time, you know, like to be an immigrant from anywhere. You know, I remember like kids telling me like, "Yo, go back to your country or go back to where you from." Like, "Oh, you're not proud to be an American?" I'm like, "No,
I'm not American.
I'm just Jamaican." Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I remember just learning the accent off like different TV shows and.
Okay, so let's transition into that. Now, when did you discover your instrument, your voice?
So, I didn't. Like it was by accident. I kind of discovered this. Mm-hmm. Like, I knew my dad and my uncles. They always like sang, and my dad, like, he's done like commercials and songwriting and stuff in the past. My uncle, he's kind of like he has a kind of a name for himself out there in Jamaica in the church circuit. Mm-hmm. I went to church, and they was like, all the kids got to come up and do something, and I was like, okay, I guess. And it was crazy. Speaking of R. Kelly.
Oh, jeez.
R. Kelly's album just came out. I think it was like TP2, where like he had like the little what do you call it? The that fur, that white fur.
Oh yeah, TP2.com.
But there was a song on that album that was really, really good. It's called "The Storm Is Over," and I sang it at church. Okay. And I got an encore like 4 times.
Really?
And right there, I was like, okay, I got a little something going on from that.
Okay. So when did you say that you wanted to get? When was the first time you got into the studio?
The first time I got in the studio. About that, I don't know what audio that was.
No.
That was like a weird transition.
It's like a Spielberg sound effect.
Yo, it sounded like we was in T. We sound like we was in T2.
Right. But the first time I got in the studio, I was like 17. It was my first year in City Tech, and I was working a shitty job as a waiter. Shout out to Glen Island, love y'all. I was working as a waiter.
How you gonna diss this shitty job as what? Shout out to Glen Island Harbor Club.
Listen, I liked working there. It was a beautiful place, but they paid like shit. But other than that, I did a lot of growing there, and I met my boy Nakeem there. And I was just outside, just waiting for my ride one night, and I was singing. He was like, "Yo, you can sing." And he introduced me to his friend Ains. And when we started recording, we was recording on like a gateway. Like it wasn't even like an official
gateway.
Yo,
do they even sell gateway computers anymore?
No.
Like Ains.
Oh, they got ate up by another conglomerate.
My boy Ainsley just had like a gateway and like a mic, like with like a stocking cap in the corner. And we started from there. And as I went along, I started going to different studios and meeting different people and just kind of making my connections to where I was able to start recording in real studios. And I've even had like independent label deals and stuff throughout the years that so I've gotten a chance to really cut my teeth in a couple different situations. And,
all right. So when did you get linked up with Stolen Moments?
That job again. I told you. Listen, I was a waiter. It was a cool job, and I've had some experiences. That's why I say it was a shitty job, but I liked it at the same time, because it just opened me up to like a whole new world. Like when I moved to New York, I was in the Bronx and Brooklyn. Of course, I traveled and went other places, but that was the first time I actually like worked with like Italians and Armenians and like different people of different ethnicities that were my age.
Okay, cool.
And at Glen Island, Stolen Moments used to come by every so often do
the showcase.
Yeah, and I was on this particular night. I was pissed off because this lady now, she comes in and she keeps giving me 20s and I keep bringing her drinks and stuff, which was cool. She's tipping me, but the last drink I brought her, she's like, you remind me of the Notorious B.I.G. but you stay safe though.
Oh wow! This is after Biggie got shot.
I was pissed. I went up to the band leader. I'm like, "Yo, you looking for a singer?" And I auditioned right there.
Oh, and, that's how it went down.
Yeah, I was like, "You looking for a singer?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "All right, I'll sing for you right now." I don't even remember what I sang, but I auditioned right there. And
then you got picked up. So that's how we actually met. So there was another singer in the band who will remain nameless because that boy is fucking crazier than cat shit.
Boy, that was my people's though.
That was your people's, but okay. So I came into the band. Yeah. So I think Oshane thought that he was like, "Why you need another person in the band? I got this."
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying. And then I came into the band, and he was like, "Who's this dreadhead nigga over here singing?" So then I started singing, and then we ended up being cool. So then we both left the band, and we decided that we still gonna, continue to write and work together or whatever. And then we became good friends. So, but also at that time, you started transitioning to writing songs for other artists. So if you don't know, go check out his website. Is the website up and running now?
The website is actually under construction. So,
okay, all right.
So about next month, the website should be up. But everybody can go to my different social media platforms. Nicholas.Oshane on Instagram, Nicholas Oshane on Twitter, Nicholas Oshane on SoundCloud, and website.
So you transitioned into writing music for Shaggy.
Yeah.
And you did something with Eve on her last project. Who was the artist from Canada you was working with? Kwame?
No. That was Golden Child.
Okay.
That situation never really panned out too well. But I actually saw him. I saw him at Caravana maybe like a year ago, and we pieced it up. So we cool.
All right. And what about Kwame Darko?
Oh, Kwame's still doing this thing. He's out here. Kwame. Why I enjoyed working with Kwame was just his story was just interesting. Like, like he had a whole different life. Like, he was poised to be like this huge soccer star. You know what I mean? Like, he was playing football. Jamaica said football, but
that's what it is for the rest of the world.
Yeah, to the rest of the world, it's football. I mean, y'all say soccer here. That shit pisses me off. I don't even know how to pronounce soccer right sometimes. But his story, he was playing ball, and it came down to one day he just made a life decision to go into rap, and I just happened to be around at that time, and we did some great work together. As a matter of fact, the some of the records that we did back then still
bump.
Still get all kinds of licensing and all kinds of different sponsorship deals and all kinds of stuff.
That's what's up. So we're gonna get into your joint Thankful, and then we're gonna talk about stuff that you did with Shaggy and Eve and your transition back into being an artist. So we're going to circle back around a little bit and talk about you being an independent artist and when you were working with a certain group. And then we're going to transition back into you coming back into the fold doing your own thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's Thankful, and we'll be right back.
Hey.
It's your boy, man. Tell these niggas be thankful, man. Be thankful I am who I am, because if I am who I wasn't, shit be different. You better be thankful for every single breath that you take. You better be thankful, because niggas out here dying every day. You better be thankful. Switch up in a minute and you never seen it coming. Be thankful. If you feel me, put your hands in the air. Boom, bye, bye, for your fuck boy head. Pussy taste me gangster, then you know him off it. Fooling baby mother with a hard clip on it. When me shotty clapping, never miss a nigga yet. Some big man a street boy, I still lick up puppy. Afraid for face the fox, yo, still afraid of dumpy. Me have it time, jack, change, chains, for the better. From JA, fly out to the Sonic, Cali, you better be thankful for every single breath that you take. You better be thankful, cause niggas out here dying every day. You better be thankful. Shit can switch up in a minute and you never seen it coming. Be thankful. If you feel me, put your hands in the air.
1, 2. That was Thankful by Nicholas Oshane. He's in the building. All right, so I'm gonna circle back to when you ended up signing the deal. Like I said, we've been through many different transitions in the music business. So you don't have to give them props or whatever.
Oh no, fuck them niggas. Oh. I tell them that to their face.
Yeah.
But it's still at the same time, fuck y'all. But like, it's no beef. Like I get.
That statement is kind of weird, but okay. Fuck you. Ain't no beef, but fuck you.
I think you got
just so you know where we stand. Like we
you forgive, but you don't forget.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Well. All right. Cool. So tell me about that situation, because you created a lot of music, but they ended up owning it, so you couldn't really release it.
Well,
and do anything.
It's not really in the sense that like they end up owning it. In the time when let me just break this down. So I was signed on with this label, and it was cool. Like you know, I was rocking, and they were really, really supportive at first.
Right.
And I think throughout they were really supportive, but then they were just doing like extras that just didn't have anything to do with me.
Okay.
Like, you know, I'm like, don't get on the phone where like I'm setting up, you know, I'm putting you into my contacts, and then people call me back pissed off like, yo, why are they trying to book 4 other artists on the same bill? And I'm like, listen,
wow.
that it's just not good business. Like, I don't see where that intertwines with me. But
it's no good.
And I just felt like I was out working the label at that point. Like I was doing more for y'all than y'all could do for me.
All right.
And that's when I transitioned into writing. I got an opportunity to meet a historic, legendary reggae producer by the name of Tony Kelly. I'm in that time.
Oh, Tony Kelly's big, man. Tony Kelly
is still rocking. Him and Wayne Wonder, who I got a chance to write for and work with as well. They got a new record out. When I met him at the time, I just went out, like he just told me, yeah, come to Florida. And that's like the thing with Jamaican people sometimes. Like they don't really give you no real, answer. It's like, yeah, just come if you're there, then you know it go already still. And it was like he just told me to come to Florida. And I flew
so
out
is he
and
based? Is he based in? Where's he based? He's based in Jamaica, Tony Kelly.
Yeah, he's back in Jamaica now, from what I know. But he's world now. He's all over the place. He produces and writes and works for everybody.
Okay,
and when I was working with him, I got a chance to write for Spice, who, as you now know, is huge.
Right.
So.
Okay. So. Tell me to just touch on real quick, because I want to get to the other names that you wrote songs for. Touch on when you writing for dancehall artists or reggae artists. Okay, first of all, people that are watching right now, there's a difference between reggae and dancehall. Yeah. Most people think that Sean Paul he's just a reggae artist. No, Sean Paul is a dancehall artist.
He's in the dancehall circuit.
That's different. Dancehall is the up-tempo dance records that you hear. Yeah. Reggae is considered like Bob Marley.
Yeah, the nice little sweet.
Right.
The
Barrington Levy.
Make you feel good. The Barris Hammond.
That's
Cocotte,
that's reggae. So getting the writing for dancehall artists and reggae artists in the same vein. How is it that they? When the dub plates and all that, how is it the transition is different? Because when they sell records, well, it's different now, but back then,
back then it was a different time. Like even now, like there's all different kind of publishing organizations and things that collect your royalties and stuff like that. Like a few years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, a lot of this stuff didn't really exist. Which is a problem for a lot of people, because at that time there was no copyright laws. It was like you can do whatever the hell.
That's why when Tony Braxton's album came out, there was like a reggae version for every single.
I remember that.
The world to me.
Yeah, you just sing it.
Yo,
just
back
sing it
in the '90s, every
R&B
American
record,
right? Was
every R&B pop, R&B record, pop record.
You think it was only Tony Braxton?
Oh man,
there's reggae version. You ever heard the reggae version?
Breathe again. Breathe.
You ever heard you are?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
My fire,
the one. Yeah, I did hear that.
They listen.
I heard the Beatles.
I've heard everything in the reggae version.
And I give Jamaican people credit, because a lot of that at that time when I was younger, I didn't know that these records were like redone.
Really? So when you were in Jamaica,
I came here. All right. So like about say 2000, 2001, my whole world kind of opened up, because my step pops just sent a whole bunch of albums out to Jamaica.
Okay.
And that's when I'm starting to hear songs. I'm like, wait.
Like,
I've heard this before.
Right. But you heard the reggae version. Okay. Let's transition. Let's move up. So how did you end up working with Shaggy?
Now, Shaggy, I met him at a video shoot. I went to a video shoot with Eve. And I had been in the studio working with her. She had called me one day when I was at work. And we started working together, and she's like, yeah, come up to the shoot with me, and I'm gonna introduce you to Shaggy. And he just happened to stand right next to me. And I was like, yo, what's up? And we just started a conversation. I'm like, hey, I think I got a record you're gonna like, man.
Oh,
and
shit.
He listened to it right then and there, and about 2 days later,
He got the phone call.
Yeah, I don't even know how the hell he got my number. He called me. He was like,
he's like, that is an industry. Listen, that is an industry mystery that nobody knows. Because all of a sudden you'd be like, oh yeah, I met this person, and then hello.
He's like, yeah, this is Shaggy.
Yeah,
like,
yo.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yo, dude, I remember I met Shaggy once, and let me tell you something, man.
He's militant as hell, ain't he? He's
yo,
funny.
my dude,
is he really?
What? He's a vet.
He's a
vet.
Oh,
he was in Desert Storm.
Really?
Yeah. What was he was no, he wasn't a Marine. No, I think. Oh, let me see. It wasn't Marines.
I think no, he was in the Gulf War, I believe. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think Shaggy would be just some cool laid
back. Brother. Wait a second.
Cool,
yo,
but,
he's cool, but the whole thing is, okay, so he was a Marine.
Okay.
He was he was a Marine. He was in the Persian. Yeah, man. He was in the he served with the Field Artillery Battery in the 10th Marine Regiment during the Persian Gulf War.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's pictures of him. If you go to his Wikipedia page, they got him in his blues, in his Marine blues. Like, so
So if you believe it wasn't him, he'd kill you.
Yo, listen, man. A lot of people have. First of all, before he got into the Marines, he had a hit. That's the whole.
I think Old Carolina was out before then.
Right. Old Carolina came out in '93. The Persian Gulf War didn't really get heavy until like mid '90s, right? Yeah. So something like that.
Yeah, man. But I met him at the shoot, and a couple days later, me and my boy Felix, we rode out to his studio. We recorded.
Shout out to Felix Snow.
Yeah, we recorded the song, and it was so dope. I mean, we was so green at that time. Like, that record was actually the first record at all that me and Felix had worked on. So to get it sold, and then not only just the Shaggy, we got Wayne Wonder on there.
Wonder, no, brother, not even that. Yo, they released like a maxi single. There was like 20 different reggae artists
we did
on this record.
Wow.
Yeah, we did. It was what's called the rhythm. So on the rhythm, there was Shaggy, there was Egyptian,
there was Conscience.
Wow.
There was Ding Dong, Rayvon.
Conscience one was
Aitalisan Shaki.
Yo, Conscience one was dope.
Yeah, no.
But the whole thing was
they're all singing.
But hold on. The Conscience one, they used Oshane's voice on the Conscious record.
No, not just the Conscious record.
It was all of them.
The record. Like,
but what's his name re-record over your vocals?
What he did was, the song was originally my song.
Okay.
Like me and him had recorded the song, and I'm like, yo, this doesn't really fit me. I want to give it to somebody.
Right.
And when Shaggy,
the song is called Makeup.
It's called Makeup.
So look for Shaggy, put in Shaggy Makeup maxi single or single, and it'll come up right on YouTube.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
So
Sorry.
when we gave Shaggy the record, it was just supposed to be one off, and he was like, "Who you think we should get on here?" He's like, "You should get Neo on here." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, I don't. It doesn't matter to me. And then Wayne Wonder popped in my head, and I'm like, "Yo, Wayne is just like dope. Like, I don't think people understand how many people have sampled Wayne's voice.
Of course.
And how many things Wayne has done over the years.
He's such classic New York.
I thought he was classy. I thought he was classy.
Reggae.
And I'm like, yo, we're going to put Wayne on the record, Shaggy and Wayne Wonder. And that record was cool. Then we did the Love Me Jamaica record that went on to the Rayvon and all the different Conscience, which is one of my favorite ones. I love the Conscience record.
Touch on Eve's last album, which is called
Lip Lock.
Lip Lock.
Yeah.
So how many joints did you do on Lip Lock?
Like 7.
Jesus.
So
Christ.
like maybe like 3/4 of the album I did. I co-wrote some stuff, and then her vibe was just cool, man. Like she called me at work.
Shout out to Eve, man. We got to hang out with Eve a couple times, man. She's cool as shit.
Yo, man, she called me at work and was just like, it was funny at the time when we worked on the album because I wasn't even really like into rap heavy. Like I was still singing and really melodic and like really on some like different shit. And she was like, "Yo, you're creative, you're dope. We gonna see what we can do. We gonna see how we can work." And we met for dinner. We met for dinner, and right then and there it was like magic.
So if y'all don't know, Lip Lock, which was her first independent release after she left Rough Riders. But let me just give you a synopsis of who was on this album. We got Miss Kitty. We got Gabe Supporter from Cobra Starship, Make It Out This Town. We'll circle back to that. Claude Kelly's on the album. Dawn Richard is on the album. Missy Elliott, Snoop Dogg is on the album. Chrisette Michelle, Juicy J, and Pusha T is on the album.
Wow.
Yo.
So
crazy, right?
Right. So I was just like, why didn't it pop? The thing was that, you know, she's independent now. Like, it's not going to sell as many units as when you was the hottest first lady of Rough Riders. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the album is much different. It's it's a little departure from. It's more worldly.
It was very different, and she was looking for that when we were working. She was just like in a different space. She was transitioning. She was making the move from here to London, and she was really experimenting with a lot of different sounds. And that's what I loved. Like when I met her, like she wasn't what I expected her to be. Like she wasn't the rough and tumble artist I thought she was going to be. She was eclectic, and she was worldly. You know, like she would like experiment with different sounds and different things.
I mean, it's gonna be different, man.
Yeah, and as to speak to like sales, personally, I think the sales were okay.
Of course, because you got
I'm alright.
You got to check.
I got to check.
Not only that,
nice
he got to
check
sing.
From that.
He got to sing with Eve. You can check it out on YouTube.
Yeah,
Make It Out This Town. Put in Eve, Make It Out This Town on Good Morning America, and you see, you know, Oshane's face. Yeah. Nicholas Oshane's face.
Shout out to Gabe Supporter. He just happened to be on tour, and that opportunity came my way. So
you just plugged yourself right into that.
Yeah, done no.
So listen, we're going to get to the 5 independent questions, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So this is how it goes down. Also, you can start checking us out on YouTube. The episodes will be up, full-length episodes, also clips. We're going to be launching our OTV Live website in the next. We're going to get up to 20 episodes. Once the 20 episodes are up and running, we will have the OTV Live website. So 5 independent questions. 1, what does being an independent artist mean to you?
Being an independent artist to me just means grinding. It means working.
Grinding.
It means you have to get up and go out there and make things happen.
Right.
I've learned over the years that being independent, and shout out to Nikki out in Canada for this, my project manager. She's kind of taught me that independent doesn't mean you alone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Of course, you have to get up and put in the effort.
Yeah.
But it just means that you got to put in the work and put the pieces together how you need to put it together to make it work. Gotcha. And I value being independent, like, over the years. Like, there's certain things that I don't necessarily have to break bread with other people when it comes to things. Like, I take care of maybe the 1 or 2 people I have to, which is my producer or whatever the case is, and I'm good. So right. I think it just means that you're gonna put in a lot of work, and if it's one of those things where you get to see what you put in come out of it.
Gotcha.
It's like if you don't put in a lot of it out of it, you're not gonna see a lot. But if you grind and grind and grind and work smart,
right, it'll work out for you. Number 2, would you sign to a major record label?
If the situation was right, if the situation was something that allowed me creative freedom, that allowed me to work with the people that I wanted to work with, and that I wasn't getting shafted on, from the rooter to the tutor, then yeah, why not?
All right, number 3, who are or what are your major musical influences?
My major, so I love like a Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson. Like, there's certain artists that are timeless for me, like Beres Hammond, like in the reggae culture, like Bone Tequila, like sometimes my influences are all over the place because it's not who you expect. Like even being from Jamaica, you would think that it would be all dancehall, but in my household, like, we grew up on Mariah Carey albums, Roberta Flack. I knew who Tony Rich was back in the day.
Tony Rich Project, yeah.
What, like,
nobody knows it
bruh.
but me. Bruh. That was my song.
Bruh. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up on a lot of like
Babyface.
Old school stuff. Percy Sledge. You know what I mean? Like
Sledge.
Artists like
Well,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Another Gap 2 brother.
Tony. Like,
Tony.
I'm all over the place, and even like I'm influenced by a lot of rappers like Jay-Z. I think Jay-Z knows how to talk to people, man, and that's one guy who's been in and around this industry and ups and downs, and a lot more ups than downs at this point. But
pretty much,
hey,
almost billionaire status.
I admire him, and I admire just the way how he speaks to his people.
Right. All right. So number 4, if you were offered a deal outside of the music genre, meaning that you had to leave it alone, but you would be financially set, like you couldn't do music again, you would just have to do that particular thing, would you do it?
What would that particular thing be?
I'm just saying.
Like just anything?
No. Outside of the entertainment realm.
Like altogether?
Altogether.
Well, I mean, outside of music and writing and singing and producing, I have a passion just for motivating and inspiring people, especially kids. I've worked with kids for a long time, whether it's been through nonprofit organizations, working in schools, working after-school programs, summer camps.
So you're saying that if you got a chance to be financially set and you were just working with kids, but you weren't doing music anymore, you would take it?
I don't know about take it.
All right.
Like, it's
open for debate. All right, we'll go to the next one. It's open for
debate. Like, because, like, I look at it like this. I get up every single morning and I'm singing.
Got you.
Every day. So it's kind of like...
All right, so we'll keep that one open. So last question. What is your end game? What is your end goal?
My end goal is to be... My end goal is just to make personal connections with people, you know. I don't just do music just to do music. Like, I'm not one of those artists that'll put out anything. Like, I'd rather not put out a record than to put out something that I don't believe in, or like something I feel like people aren't going to connect to and that people aren't really going to feel. Like my end goal is to inspire, motivate, and as well, like for me, like I tell people all the time, like I'm genuinely excited when I get to do new things or go new places. Like I said, I'm not from this country. Like whenever I go to a new place or somewhere I've never been, I'm genuinely excited.
Right.
And I just want to have that experience going around the world and talking to people and just being the best me that I can be.
All right. So tell everybody where they can reach you.
You can reach me on all my social media platforms as Nicholas Oshane everywhere. My website, nicholasoshane.com, will be back up and running in about a month or so. We've been doing a lot of restructuring this year. Like, I brought on a project manager, Nikki Nicole out of Canada, Bars. We've been just trying to make it work, and we're getting ready to drop my first project first quarter.
Okay.
So
that's what's up.
Look out.
Gypsy, tell everybody where they can reach you, man.
Go Facebook.com/The Hangover Takeover. Juju, my co-host, just got here. We're about to start our show in about 20 minutes, so check that out. The Hangover Takeover.
Check them out.
Hey,
check them out.
Oh, yeah.
So you can catch me, Mr. D.Wise, on all platforms. Check out my website. It's called MrDWise.com. Instagram, Facebook. Actually, my Snapchat is different. I think it's that boy D.Wise on Snapchat.
Yeah, my Snapchat is different. It's N-Oshane2. I just got on Snap like 3 weeks ago. And
Wait, he just got on Snap too.
No, I just started using it.
Okay, you've been on Snap.
No,
but
I was chilling with this girl. Shout out to Dana. She's a microbiologist, beautiful young lady from St. Andrews, Kingston.
But can't she let me shut up? All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're about to get out of here. Thank you for Mr. Nicholas Oshane in the building tonight. We want to thank you for coming out.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, keep it indie, baby.
Yeah, you lucky I ain't sing bad your ass on the head.